everyone, it's Josie. I released a video a few years ago sharing about my autism and OCD diagnosis. There was just so many emotions and feelings, and I didn't quite know how to process all of those things after this assessment, and I wanted to talk about that. I do also want to address, a lot of people do want to get away from the word disorder or disability. Some people don't view it as that. I am someone who I had to get the assessment because this is a part of my life that disrupts my life on an everyday basis. I was trying to get mental health help. I was trying to get medical care, and no one was capable of figuring out what was kind of happening. There was a psychiatrist and a therapist who finally put the pieces together for me and told me they were not trained in what I needed. They then pointed me in the direction of I needed to get an assessment. I was just running off of nothing. I needed help with being burnt out, and the only way that I was able to get help was to get a diagnosis. Whenever I was first diagnosed, I had to break down who I was and what everything around me was. I didn't realize how much I was masking. I didn't realize how damaging my job was with this masking, how burnt out I was throughout this entire time that I have worked ever since I was a teenager has been a social struggle for me, and I've just never been able to figure out why. I have thought that if I could push myself through social situations one day, I'll just figure it out. And clearly that has never worked. I went through a point where I got rid of a ton of stuff in my room. I put on an article of clothing. I was like, do I like this? Am I comfortable? No, got rid of it. Probably about half of my clothes. I figured out what clothing was my masking clothing. What clothes did I wear around people because I wanted to fit in versus what was I comfortable with wearing, and those were the clothes that I kept. So I went through about a year of just donating clothes and throwing away clothes as well. Something that I really had to work through, which I think is the biggest thing growing up. I always heard people talk about autistic individuals as smart, just find what they love and they do that. By the time that I was 15, my diagnosis list was anxiety, depression, panic attack disorder, sensory, auditory, and visual processing disorder, and ADHD. From the time that I was a kid, probably like second grade maybe, you're supposed to be looking up to adults. I was told that I was stupid, dumb, I would go nowhere in my life. I was told so many negative things about myself that by the time that I exited high school, I just kept repeating those things in my head. Anytime I messed up, I just repeat in my head that I was this stupid, dumb individual who just would go nowhere in their life. Understood some of my strengths, but that those strengths would get overpowered by the weaknesses that I had and the struggles that I had. Every single accomplishment that I had as an adult would get overpowered by this really negative self-talk. So whenever I got told that, oh yeah, you have autism spectrum disorder, I'm finding out so many things that are just common in autistic people. I now had to relearn all of this talk in my head. Autism doesn't equal stupid and dumb. People just didn't know how to respond to me within that moment. And that was the thing that flew out of their mouth. And that's been the hardest thing to work through. My brain is just wired differently. I did a lot of reading books about autism and masking. I got myself a ton of fidget toys because I realized that I suppressed all of my stimming. I went to different certification programs for what I actually enjoy. I know that I can completely change my career with. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are, and I don't completely destroy my brain with my weaknesses anymore. I needed to just allow myself to be myself. And what were those ways as well? there you go. There's a little bit of an update. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a good day and a good week. And I'll see you soon. Bye.